What's up, guys? So as you can see from the thumbnail, the Mercedes didn't start, but I think it's going to be a relatively easy repair. I'll show you what's happening. So the other day I was getting ready for work, get into my car, the key unlocks it, everything's acting normal, but the moment I go to put it in the ignition, what I've come to find out is that it is the ESL, electronic steering lock, and that's in the steering column. That means I gotta go fix something. But to do that, I tried a few more things, definitely seemed to be the issue. So let's fix it. What I'm gonna do is take out the ignition, the little box that we stick our key into, that talks to the ESL, the ignition locking system, steering column lock. And lucky for me, mine was locked in the off position, so my steering wheel still turns, though no power steering because the car won't start. It's still relatively easy. So I was able to get onto the trailer, bring it over to the shop so that I can work on it. What I'm gonna do is put in an emulator. It's not gonna be a new box that sits on top that locks up my steering column. It's just gonna act like it does. Therefore, I never have this issue again. But that means taking apart some parts, sending it to ECU Saver, where if you watch this video, I sent it for the Range Rover Land Rover LR4 because my body control module, whatever you want to call it, was fried. They were able to take the VIN, re-clone it to my new one, and then I was able to plug it in and it worked. So I'm going to use the same service, but with my ignition so that they can VIN code it, and I'm going to use their services and get a second key. How hard can it be? Let's get into it. So the first order of business is obviously to take off the negative of my battery. I don't want any power here. Next, we head into the car to the ignition. Now you can see a notch here and here, and I'm just going to unspin it. When doing that, this whole thing will fall through and I can go underneath this footwell and hopefully grab it. Now I might need to move my column up and down to remove that locking mechanism that sits on the steering column here. But let's first get this out because this is what I need to send to ECU Savers. So I took this bezel off by using two flat blade screwdrivers. There's notches like I showed, and it just literally unscrews. Did that. Next, I took off this surround, as you can see here. I took some plastic tool trim removals and just kind of slid it in, and it pops out sitting right there. Next, I need to figure out how to get this module out. I also took off the kick panel underneath by using a T15 right here. Just those 3 bolts, and it all comes out. I may reconnect the battery to lower the whole column down. I pulled the leather forward. It's just a few tabs right here. And you can kind of start seeing it back there. But you know, I got to be able to get to it. So let's move this whole thing down. So I want to take off the steering wheel now. Now, if you watch this video, you'll see that I had to remove all of this because I broke the clock spring back here. So I'm going to grab my number 4 right there, and there's 2 screws back here, one back here and one back here, to take off the airbag, and then we can start taking off the clock and all that other good stuff. So let's use this, pop this off. Obviously remove your negative battery cable because we don't want this to pop in our face. Do that first. All right, so those 2 came out just fine. Now I want to disconnect both of these. We have yellow and maroon. You can either disconnect it from back here, or we can flip it around and disconnect everything from the back of the airbag. Either way is fine. Very hard with one hand. This is going to be an Allen 10, okay? Put that in, take your breaker bar, and pop it loose. I got my big breaker bar and was able to just hold the wheel and just start loosening this bad boy up. So this is considered the clock spring, and this just pulls off. Do not turn this. This is what I broke last time, and these ribbons in here will get stretched and break. But really, so I did a mark here and lined it up here. That's kind of where I want it, and this is always vertical at, let's just say, due north, okay? So just rock it back and forth and pull it off. You're gonna have some cables back here, and peel that off with your pick again, okay? We're getting there. With this clock spring removed, we have clear access to the ignition right here. Now, as you can see back here, we have a couple clips. We're gonna have to take those out, and this should get pushed out. And I believe there's a clip holding it in. It's hard to get a camera of it, but back there, okay? So we're gonna take off the electronics and pull it out. Now, the clock spring, or the clock that locks everything, is back here. Now, I have a couple bolts that I'm gonna have to remove, and I will show you those soon. One of them is right up there. One's right there. The others are down further, back into the hole. Back there, right there, you can kind of see it. On the other side, once those are out, then we can remove the ESL. But let's get this out first, because this is the part that I have to ship off. So time has come by, and it is time to work on the C63 again, because I got my parts back. Check this out. If you watch this video here, you'll see that I used ECU saver for my Range Rover LR4 when the BCM went bad. So today, I used the same company to get this. This is my ESL, electronic steering lock emulator. Okay, this is it right here. So this is gonna get plugged in. Now, you can either take it off the steering column, the original one, and put this on, or you can just plug this in and zip tie it and put everything back. But I'm gonna try to put this in its original position. With that, they reprogrammed this. This is where your key goes, obviously. And I only had one key when I bought the car many years ago, but they gave me a second one. So now I got two keys. So what awesome service. Again, this is ECU saver. I sent them this and this. They sent me back this and this. Very happy with it. What I'm struggling with most is actually getting out the old emulator, or not even an emulator, the old ESL. It is back there, way down there, sitting right in here. So I removed these bolts, if you remember, and I got it unplugged. There's the plug, but I can't get it out of the steering column here. So there's two more bolts back here that I'm going to leave a few threads in, try to drop it down just enough. I don't want to undo this whole thing, but actually you could probably see the bolts here, right there. Okay, and what I want to do right there and right here, and this hopefully will move enough where I can get way down in there, that ESL out. I don't know what's going to work best, but I've seen it done a few ways. Let me try that. I finally got this out. I was spending so much time trying to push this in and lift it up, but what ended up happening was I had to take down all the steering column bolts except the two closest to the steering wheel, and then just get my fingers behind here, and I just pried it out. I didn't really care if I broke it. I ended up not breaking it, but this one, people have been told you can just zip tie to the steering column and it mimics it. I'm going to try to put it back in its original position. Once you take this off, this comes out, right? So similar concept, but we can either put it back in or not. I'm going to try, see what happens. Well, I got most of it put back together. I got the emulator sitting in the steering column. I was able to put all this back together, and now, as you can see, the battery's hooked up, and let's see what happens. I put it in. Take your key from the ignition. Something didn't happen. All right, well that's better. Well, it starts. I didn't get that last time. Next, I'm gonna try my new key and see what happens with my new key. But for right now, it's running, and it was a lot easier than you'd think. I see a lot of ESL problems popping up right now, and this was a pretty quick and easy fix. The longest part, honestly, was just waiting for them to do a turnaround. I live in Florida. I had to ship it out to Washington. I saw a place on eBay too that was in California. They have a one-day turnaround, but ECU Savers was able to take my bit, and they had it shipped out the exact same day that it showed up. So they were fast too. So shout out to them again. It's the second time I've used them, and I highly recommend them. Car's running, life's good. I just got to button all this stuff back up. But I hope you guys are enjoying this journey. I'll see you soon.